This is DownHome Sports, covering the best sports and student athletes in Ellis County. Brought to you by Pinnacle Bank with ATM Live, powered by the people. Not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. The United States Marine Corps, the fighting spirit of an entire nation. Doe City Pizza and Burgers. For the best in artisan pizza and burgers, go to Doe City in Red Oak, Texas, across from the high school. It is delicious.
And Superstar Collision, located on Highway 67 in Cedar Hill. To get it done right, choose Superstar Collision for your automotive repairs.
The battle to belong begins here, among the few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, let's kind of guess what we got going on today. We got Life Mustang Golf. We're out here with us. Hey, we got another one coming in. Jonathan Wynn. We're going to add him to the screen right now. Got Coach Ellis. We got Andrew. We got Nolan. We got Garrett. And now we're going to add Jonathan in. And, Coach, just talk about this team right here and what they mean to you as individuals and as a team as a whole.
Well, Nolan came in as his freshman year. They're all seniors. We've had them. They've all played. I think Garrett came in as a sophomore, his sophomore year. But Nolan came in knowing how to play golf, really being a good coach. Was a cream of the crop. I think, their captain. I think they'll all agree with that. And he's led them. They work hard. When they came in, I would say Nolan's a better golfer than me. The others, iffy. Now they're all better than me. Okay? They put in work. I tell them, look, y'all keep putting in time. Y'all keep working. I can maybe help them with course management. But over the years, they just put in time. They work. They do anything you ask them to do. And super respectful. All good students. All take care of business. And it's been a pleasure coaching them and just seeing them how well they last 4 years. I think COVID year hurt us a little bit, but like it did everybody else. But after that, Nolan's been to regionals, would have been to regionals every year. And then now the team's should have been their third year at regionals without the COVID as a team, and usually get to send a team to regionals. We'll send some individuals, but the team is really, they're good friends. They work together. They're always at the course. So it's a great bunch of kids.
And Andrew, let's talk about that, being tight and stuff. Most sports, you're in the gym, you're lifting together, whatever. Golf, y'all probably just took it up and saying, hey, what time are we meeting at the course today? And take a foursome out and go play or something just on an off day. But when you're competing, you're kind of separated from everybody. But you're still cheering everybody on. I mean, y'all might catch up at the turn or something like that. What's that dynamic for y'all? I mean, are y'all spending days on the course just playing 9 right after school? What do y'all do to keep that camaraderie together?
Oh, man. It's almost like you see too much of each other. Every day we go to school, we sometimes eat after we get out of school. We play 18. Almost all weekends, we're just hanging out, trying to do stuff. I think it's just we're so close-knit that it makes us a stronger team. I had the chance to play football earlier in the year, and it's just a whole different sport with teams. During the tournaments, we get to see each other sometimes on different holes, and we're just kind of cheering each other on. And we all know that we got to get stuff done. So, yeah.
Oh, and how do you have an offensive lineman up there on the golf team? I mean, I know he plays a little defense too, but, I'd call him a narc on a golf team, to be honest with you. But – knowing me and you have at least one thing in common. I've had one. You probably had multiple. I got to see back, and I think it was in October, you had a hole-in-one.
Yeah, I did.
How many of them things you lining up, man?
I've got 2 in to my name now, and I'm glad that both of them have been in front of my teammates. One of them in front of my coach, of course. I like to say that I do have his favorite hole-in-one, of course. I like that. I like to say that I have that. But it's definitely a good honor to have. And it's fun to say that my brother, he's played collegiate golf. He's played all of his life. He doesn't even have one. It's definitely fun to say that I have a couple hole-in-ones, which is nice.
That's pretty cool, man. Mine ricocheted off a tree and went in on the far back side of the hole. So, well, Garrett, you know what? How do you keep your hair? I mean, y'all played in some 35-mile-an-hour winds this year. How do you keep that hair from taking off, brother?
Lots of luck and put it in a hair tie.
Okay. Well, Garrett, what do you think your strength on the team is? You know, if y'all are playing best ball, okay, how would you line the four of y'all up?
Well, I like to say that I hit it pretty far. So usually if I'm on that day, I go first, see how far I can get in the fairway, and then I let these guys take care of it.
Okay, so who's your short game guy on this squad?
Definitely Nolan.
Okay,
Nolan.
Who's your putter?
Either me or Nolan, depends on the day.
No, you got to pick one apiece. You can even pick coach.
Yeah, I'll give it to coach.
Okay. And who's that mid-range guy?
Right now, I'd say Mr. Jonathan. He's
There we
pretty bad
go.
right now.
Well, you left Andrew out here. What are you going to have Andrew do? You going to make him caddy?
He's chipping pretty good right now. I'll give him.
Okay. Well, there's your chipper.
I'll take it up
I'll
the
give him
rear.
the chipper. I'll put Nolan inside 100. I'll do Andrew around the green.
Okay.
I'll take that bet
Well,
right now.
Coach ain't got Mr. Three Wiggle in his hand, you know, three wiggle with the putter.
Like I said,
Yeah.
putting's my job. That's for sure. That's again, I can't. Guys are better than me, but when we get to the green, at least I can help them get the read down, get the speed down, and even on our practice round, I usually just bring my putter because sense of me bringing anything else to show them their lights everywhere else.
Jonathan, you with us?
Yes, sir.
Well, let's see your face, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't have a webcam right now. I gave it to my cousin.
Okay. Well, Jonathan, what's one of the best things about playing high school golf for you?
Senior year, I get to get out early. So we usually go out and hit a range session before everybody comes out. And we're just like playing games around the range, just playing horse, shot shapes. And then every practice, I've been challenging Nolan. I've lost every time.
Hey, that's good memories right there, though. You know, hopefully one day, Nolan being on a PGA tour and you can get a caddy round and make up for all the stuff he gave you. You know,
We'll see.
Take him around one time. Well, Coach, when these young men are out there, right, and they're playing golf, they don't get a caddy. You're trying to bounce back and forth between holes, you know. And I know you talked about course management, you know, but when you are playing those back practice rounds, how important are those notes that these guys are taking down, you know, particular to their game?
Definitely. I usually, especially with those in district, I print out a yardage book and we go and I try to specify it for what they hit. You know, they have the rings to let them know, but they're super important. Being able to read a green, huge for them, knowing where to aim the green to get you the straightest putt. So the more information we can get, the better. And like I'm scrambling around trying to catch up to everybody, but it's definitely they know the good thing about district at Mansfield. They've all played it several times.
Yeah.
We don't get to play Van Zant, so that's where we've got to really go by the yardage books to see, hey, where's my smartest play? And some of the districts which that we're competing against in regionals, their district courses at our regional course, so they get to see it all the time. So for us to be in the top three, which is our goal, we really have to look at our course book and we online and look at the aerial shots to kind of see how dense the trees are. So we try to do a lot of prep ahead of time.
Well, Andrew, when you're taking on these district tournaments, regional tournaments, et cetera, do you want to play it safe and maybe go 3-wood versus, you know, driver, or are you personally just like attack the course?
Oh, no, I'm not good enough to do all that. Basically, this is what we're trying to do is just play bogey golf. That's what we've been ingrained in since 2 years ago. Just keeping it in play, keeping it safe, just trying to be as, what's the word? Just keeping it as in play as possible.
Gotcha. So are you going Little Red Book and just playing 7-iron off and bogey golf right there?
No, I mean, like if I'm feeling it and the hole requires it, I'll just go 3-wood and then middle of the green, something like that.
Gotcha.
Not anything risky, just.
Okay. No, I learned how to play 7-iron and bogey golf with just a 7-iron before I was allowed to grab a long club. Well, Nolan, this year I saw you do something amazing, which was I think y'all were playing in 35-mile-an-hour winds at the point, and you come up, you get a birdie, and then you come back the next hole and eagle.
Yeah.
What was it like? Just those 2 holes. I mean, most golfers that are y'all's age would be like, you already had a hole-in-one on the year. But to go birdie eagle back to back on a couple of holes like that, that's normally an amazing thing for a high school golfer. Were these guys giving you guff about it? Why ain't you doing this all the time? Or, we could use the strokes as a team. Come on, man.
No, they weren't. It's kind of a thing I tend to do a lot sometimes, especially in practice rounds. I kind of pull those off every once in a while. So it was kind of nothing new, but it was awesome to do it that day specifically. I was behind a few, being on the second day of our district. So it was really nice to do that and kind of scare the guys in my group. Cause I had the leader in my group. I had the top 4 scores in my group. So it was really cool to do that. And especially doing that in that moment in the round, it was right before we went into like last 4 holes that were all dead into wind. They were all playing an extra 50 yards. So it was really good to get those 3 strokes back, especially, having 100 yards into a par 5, because you have 30-mile-per-hour winds behind you you got to take advantage of that. So I was really happy that I was able to, and especially getting it on video. It was really nice to be able to do that in front of some of my administrators, which was really cool. But it was just, I'm really happy that I was able to take advantage of what I was able to do. I drove a green with a hybrid, was able to 2-putt and get out of there with the birdie and then do that. So it was just really important that I was able to do that. So it was awesome to do that in tournament, especially. Doesn't happen very often.
That's pretty cool, man. Well, Garrett, what's your best hole in the year? What do you think you played the best hole?
I'd probably have to give that to the 18th hole at our regional practice round. I got a pretty good drive down there. Ended up having about 100 yards into a par 5 and stuck it to 3 feet and made eagle.
Yeah.
So
Dude.
it was pretty good. It was a good highlight to a bad day. I'll give it that.
Okay. But how much is it a great deal to get that confidence in a practice round, though, that know that you can overcome that course?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, we played it last year for regionals, and I came off my first day was horrible, and then my second day I came back and shot 81. So I mean, that already gave me a good confidence coming into this year because I know the course better. But to know that I can eagle a hole to finish off a round is a huge confidence boost.
That's pretty darn cool right there, man. Well, Jonathan, any holes in ones or anything like that I don't know about?
I did just break 80 at our district tournament.
Phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn cool. So what was that big hole for you that changed that round for you? Or were you just really consistent that day?
I think I was just really consistent that day. I remember last year I started off on hole 18. So this year I started on hole number 1, and the second day I went on 18. And then I just got in the groove and just playing my dream. That's all.
There you go, man. Well, Coach, what's it like to have 4 young men? And I know a couple of the administration over there, okay, and they can't play golf that well. But I think we need to have an administration team tournament or, a challenge one day and get Barry West out there because I know he's 3-putting. But no, what's it like to have these guys that are playing and enjoying this, which is going to be a lifetime sport? My dad always told me, you do more business on the golf course you'll ever do in the office room. But how does this really set these young men up for the confidence individually and as a team? Because these are going to be guys that are going to be talking to each other for the rest of their lives.
Well, Exactly. Like I said, they're all seniors. That's the good and bad of it because we lose all of them. Even my number 5, who wasn't able to join us, Jet Ray, and actually my number 6, Caden Vaughn. They're all seniors. They just work together all the time. They eat lunch, like they said before. They eat lunch together all the time before they get early release, and before they go to the course, they'll grab something to eat. So they're together all the time. They're good friends. They give each other a hard time, which is just finding lifelong friends. Number one, this few, I have a couple, right, from my high school days that I even talk to still. So I think these guys, a couple of them are going to college. I think Nolan, Garrett, and Jonathan were all offered at Kansas Wesleyan. And I know a couple of them are going. So it's been a great opportunity to see them grow not only on the course, and again, they're good students, but in the classroom. And then just as friendships, sometimes they're like family as far as I can tell. I mean, they're just like brothers. And so, because, there's good days and there's bad days, but they're always there for each other. So it's been awesome.
When Andrew is somebody that plays football, right? Does anybody else play any other sports?
Well,
Garrett looks like he should have lined up with you.
I tried.
No,
No,
but
I
the
was a
facial
baseball- I
hair and
was a
everything,
baseball
that's an
guy back
offensive
in the day.
lineman right there. But Andrew, when you're playing a sport like football, right, and you get a lot of shine throughout the year, how much shine do you want to get on these guys for doing the same kind of athletics? Playing golf, I mean, you got to be on par all the time. How much does it mean to you to get some shine on these guys where y'all get it during football season, but also getting it during the golf season? Y'all got a great ladies team there at Life as well. And y'all second place in district, coming out of everything. What would it mean to you if everybody actually had a big deal about the golf team?
I think it helps support us. Like football, we could go 0-10 and we're still going to get the same support we always do. This is because it's Texas, but
yeah,
golf to me is just a hidden sport, hidden gem. And I think that if more people could realize what we actually do and how hard it is, I think it would just allow us to have more support and grow the game of golf too.
Well, and Nolan, I want to come to you with this one. Who's that person that first put a club in your hand and taught you to love golf?
Oh, it was definitely my dad. I was still in diapers, and he handed me a Snoopy club, a little Snoopy 7-iron, and I was hitting balls. He would go out in the yard about 15 yards in front of me and say, "Hit dada, because that's what I would call him. And that's where I've been playing since I was 1.5. I was hitting balls, and that's where the love, like how I love golf. That's where it came from. I wish I wouldn't have played baseball. I played baseball for 8-10 years of my life, and I wish I would have spent that time playing golf instead. But playing golf definitely started very early in my life, and it was due to my dad. Definitely due to my dad.
Garrett, what about you? When did you first come to pick up the big stick and start hitting it long?
I had a similar thing to Nolan. My dad used to play golf. He got me into it when I was young. I actually had a Snoopy set as well. But I just like Nolan, that's how I met Nolan. I played baseball for 10 years of my life. That's how we got to know each other, how we got good friends. And then right before my sophomore year, Nolan had really taken golf seriously, and he got me back into it. And then I just took off from there.
Pretty awesome. Jonathan, you got anybody that you can recollect getting you out there or inspiring you?
Our brother Tommy and also Nolan. Me and Nolan were elementary friends, and we just had a lot in common and went to Top Golf one day and appeared one swing, and that's what got me.
That's pretty awesome, man. Coach, what about you? Who inspired you to pick up the sticks?
Well, when I've always played. My granddad was a good athlete, and I would just try to do stuff to try to get his involvement with him. And I just had some high school friends that played baseball together, and in the summer we'd play golf. And so it was mostly my friends and then my granddad.
That's pretty cool. What about you, Andrew?
Yeah, same thing. My dad, he was a big part in getting me to play, getting me to love it, practicing, teaching me. I didn't have my first lesson until about 2 years ago. Everything I knew was from him. Yeah, it's all from him.
Awesome. Well, Nolan, you just need these guys to hurry up, grow up, get married, and get some kids. And you got a bunch of pro lessons coming your way. Let me tell you. Well, Nolan, what is this season meaning to y'all? I mean, y'all been through it all, right? Me and Andrew talked about this about football last time he and I spoke. But just, being limited on what could go on, being limited with the amount of rounds you can play, et cetera. Some courses closed down completely and all that. But what's the one big thing that you think you will take from these 4 years together?
Definitely the friendships, of course. Golf has allowed us to really, like Andrew said, really get close. We're every day we're spending time together. It's hours on hours that we have spent together, and it's just, this year's meant a lot because it's our last year. It was our last hoorah. We definitely spent a lot of time trying to get to state. Hopefully, is our big goal, and it's just so big to us that we can actually do what we want to, and something that we can enjoy and have fun with it, and just go as far as we can. Get close to each other and just have fun with it. It's just really big to us, to get a little support, and that's what we're gonna take from this year, is how close we are and how good of friends we are. We're gonna be playing rounds on rounds on rounds every summer with each other when we're coming back from college, and that's never gonna stop. I know that, and that's because of these last 4 years that we played together. So
you're awesome. Garrett, as far as the program goes, how do you think y'all are going to be leaving a major mark on this school?
I hope we do leave something. 'Cause right now it's not looking too like we're going to have too much of a program. I'm praying for coach that someone comes along and gives them something. But I mean, I hope that what we do this year might inspire some of the kids to, get into golf and have that spark like we had back in the day.
Awesome. Well, Jonathan, how do you go about trying to help coach out and inspiring some of these young people? Do y'all reach out to some of these sophomores and stuff and maybe take them for a round, something like that?
In our athletic period, I just try to help those younger kids the best I can. Sometimes they just fool around too much, so I try to just keep them in check, and try to get them solid contact first, and the basics, of course.
Well, Andrew, you could go to football and recruit kickers. No comment there? Okay, never mind. The kickers aren't that good then, huh? On golf? Well, Coach, when you talk about this, you talk about, where this team's come from the beginning and everything else. What is it about this group and your program? And I know they're saying it's kind of lean coming up, but what is it about this group that really is going to leave that mark there at life to say, you know what, if you get out, you work hard, you can do some amazing things and do them together?
Well, the part about golf that's tough is that no students can come support you since the tournaments are during the day. So that's tough. So a lot of kids don't know about the program, but I've had more interest since these guys have been playing, because every week that we have a tournament, I've given an announcement of someone did a personal best that week, or we came in first or second or top 10 or whatever. Because of their success, we've had kids that said, hey, I didn't even know we had a golf team. So they're just, and as the school grows and as these guys, heritage grows from them, that we are getting more and coming out for sure. Yeah, we're lean because most teams aren't going to lose 6 seniors. So we'll be lean the next couple of years, but we've got enthusiasm. We see the enthusiasm from the one in the period with us And even some of the kids who just said, hey, I didn't know we had a program. Hey, I'm coming out next year and all that. So, and it's all from these guys and their success.
Well, guys, I want to give you the best luck going into everything else the rest of the season. And Andrew, Nolan, Garrett, Jonathan, do a fat guy a favor. Everybody's under 75 for this next one. No, y'all put that on there. That'd be something up in the school board, let me tell you.
Oh yeah.
That would be. That would be.
But no, folks out there, let me tell you something. It's a lifelong sport. These young foremen exemplify what it means to be a teammate and just a great all-around person. I've gotten to know Andrew a little bit. I've heard a lot about Nolan. I've heard about Garrett also and Jonathan. But remember, Ellis County folks, we got good football teams, but we got some great golf teams as well. Guys, thank y'all so much for coming on. And like I said, we wish you the best. And no Mr. Three Wiggles the next tournament, okay?
Sir.
In Ellis County, we're always on the run. It's always good to know that someone's always there. Doesn't matter the time of day. With ATM Live, hours are always available. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can always pull right up and talk to someone live for that personal service. Or stop by and visit with the friendly folks inside. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
County, guess what? We got the Red Oak Hawks, and they're on flight this year. We got Coach Johnson, we got Maya, we got Chris. Coach, talk about this amazing season. You got regionals and everything going on, and just what a great team you have this year.
Well, I think that what with the team we have this year, it starts with our senior leadership and the two individuals that we have on here with us right now. They tasted the success that we had last year, and it carried over. And I think that they brought that attitude in with them. It was contagious, and it spread throughout our team, and you can see the results.
And Maya, you know, most people don't get this. You got track coaches. You're at a meet. You're a coach, and it seems like coaches are chasing y'all all over the place. You never have enough track coaches. But what's it like being a leader, you know, in a sport that's kind of individual, but then you got to pump your team up as well. What's that like for you being that leader?
For me, being a leader is more like a sisterhood. And I feel like my leadership abilities, whether it's in my open or my relay, I feel like it's, since I am a senior and since I am one of the varsity girls on the team, I feel as if I should lead the team in the right direction, whether it's with helping warm up, motivational talks, prayers before we run, anything, getting them fruit, or if they need water, anything that comes to the teams and helping the girls, I'm always there and willing. I feel like as me being one of the varsity girls and a leader on the team and a senior, I feel like that's my role.
Well, Chris, what about you from that leadership standpoint? Guys go at it a totally different way, okay? With young ladies, you got to tell them the who, the where, the what, the why. With guys, we just tell you to go hit a telephone pole, you'll knock it down, and they'll make you a champion. So how do you take that senior leadership in the hand?
For my way, it's a little bit different because I was a senior captain on the football team. So, like, my leadership skills started there as a brotherhood. And us guys, as you said, like, we're a little bit different than the women's side of the track team. So, as that being said, on the 4x1 and the 4x2, like, we get in as a group and, like, we just stick. Like, if one says something, okay, then we're listening, right? Because then we know, like, that's what's going to help us get to the next level.
Awesome.
More like a sponge, like, to soak everything up.
Well, awesome. Well, Maya, I'm going to skip back up to you and Chris real quick before we get back to Coach Johnson. Maya, as a young woman, and you own a school record, Chris owns 2. In the community, when you're a senior, you're automatically cool to these young kids because you get to stay up past 10. What does it mean to you to be somebody that these young women out there aspire to be, that they look up to you and they say, I want to be like Maya when I grow up. I want to do that event.
For me, it holds a very strong place in my heart because for me to be able to go out and do what I love and have people that aspire that and love to do that, it really holds me at a high standard to make sure that I'm coming to practice on time every day. I'm doing what I have to do at practice. When I get to the track meet, I make sure I'm showing those roles that I need to show, because when I have people looking over me, everything I does reflect. So as being one of those girls, I feel like I carry a very strong role, definitely with the leadership side of that, as I spoke on. I feel like it holds a very valuable place in my heart.
Awesome. And Chris, what about you, inspiring those guys, football and track?
Just a little bit, as Maya said, being able to hold a school record, that's like phenomenal. You don't really think about doing that, but like as you see, it's capable of. If I can do it, then the next person coming through the program can also do it. So that's how I look at it, as seeing somebody else doing it as a stepping stone. Last year I had radio to watch, so this year they're watching me, and then on the years past they'll be watching somebody else.
That's awesome, man. Well, Coach, first off, let's go to these two young people real quick. How amazing is it to have such well-spoken, great student athletes as a part of your program?
Well, it makes my job easier. You know, there's a stuff that I just don't have to deal with. When you have strong leadership and consistent leadership, some of those things you just don't have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So that's a great thing to have, and to be able to communicate and figure out and keep a hand on the pulse of your team. Track is a long season. We started back in December. And so we had to go over a month without a track meet. So that's a long time to keep them motivated, making sure they know what goals are in front of them. And you have to have that leadership. And these are two of the guys, one guy, one lady that has really done a great job of being consistent throughout the course of the season in being those leaders.
Well, Coach, you know, when you're doing things like you had the number 14 time, I brought this up with Chris, right? 4x100 posted the number 14 time in the nation this year in the 4x1. You know, there's some things that are going right there. And the more things that you do good in track, the more ancillary sport, you know, other sports that you're doing, these kids get offers in, but they also get them in track as well. And what is it about your program that is striving for that kind of success?
Well, I mean, it starts with knowing what the goal is, you know, and our goal on the track team is simple: it's to get better every week. And if we can get better every week, the results will speak for themselves. And that's what's been happening with our team. We've been constantly getting better every week. In our individual races, in our relays, we've been getting better every single week. And that's the goal. And we're starting to peak at the right time. Going into area this week up in Mesquite, we're peaking at the right time. I look for us to re-break records that we just broke last week. We have the speed to do it. We have the drive to do it. We have the focus to do it. And our kids want to do it. And so when you have all of that going, good things happen.
Well, Maya, I want to jump over to you real quick. You know, when you see teams, I don't think kids understand this, but y'all really inspire other teams to do great things. And I think that's always jumped off every year by y'all's track program for the next season, especially at Red Oak. I think winners beget winners, you know, iron sharpens iron, all those coaches' cliches. How true is that with that athletics program on the women's side over there at Red Oak?
Repeat that one more time for me.
How is it that, you know, it seems like the Red Oak Lady Hawks always have a great track season, and that kind of springs the next spring sports. Everybody wants to just keep up with y'all with all the great things y'all do year after year. How do y'all really think you impact the entire school with your track season and the amazing season y'all are having right now?
I think we really impact the rest of the spring sports due to the fact that we are one of the last sports that compete. And I feel like we really hold the standard due to us being the last sport. And we have some very good athletes. We have some very good coaches. So I think with all of that, it really springs it off, and it really gives us the drive for other sports to want to keep up with us, because I feel as if we do set the standard, definitely with us being the last sport, I feel like we really set that standard, and that bar for season after season and even sport after sport.
Chris, you and I were talking about that 4x100 record, and you got an 8th grader that's one of the top kids in the country that you were saying, you wish would have been up there with y'all. But talk about just the camaraderie. I mean, relays, folks, if y'all don't know this, that baton handing off is not the easiest thing in the world, okay? It looks simple. These kids make it look simple, but I'm going to tell you right now, this fat guy couldn't do it. Chris, how much trust do you have to have in your teammates to make that baton handoff as fast as you are doing in that short of a space?
Like you said, man, it's not as easy as it looks, but what it is just trusting one another to get the job done. That's what that relay is about. All 4 of us competing to get that baton across as fast as we can.
Well, Coach, let's jump over to another thing. Doesn't always happen. Let's give those throwers and jumpers a little bit of love. Okay. Yeah. Y'all have had some great outings by your jumpers and everything else. Just kind of talk about that side of the program and how well they're doing.
Well, we as you just said, we've been successful all over the track, and so I know with our throwers, we have so many throwers that have never thrown before until this year. So to see them have the success that they've had is pretty remarkable. Over in our jumps, we have some people that we've had a few years. Bruce Parker, high jump, long jump guy. He's very good at what he does, and we have a few more. Zaria Jones is having another good year in her jump. So we have a little bit of leadership over there in our jumps, but over in the throwing area, it's exciting to see because everybody's young that's over there. They'll be back next year, and it's their first year throwing. So as much success as we've had this year with that group, it's going to be even better next year just because they have that experience.
Awesome. Well, Maya, who's that one lady on the track team, okay, that in your opinion, because I think you're a target anytime you get on the track, okay? But who's that one girl that you think sneaks up on everybody? We used to call one girl I went to high school with Moses, okay? She'd run the first 3 laps kind of slow, and then all of a sudden she'd have a kick the entire track. Who's that girl on the track team going to sneak up on?
That I want to sneak up on, or that she wants to sneak up?
No, that she's going to sneak up on the competition. They ain't going to see her coming.
I believe that either Jada Edwards or Liana Jackson would be my 2. They're very hardworking girls, very competitive. They're right up there with me. They work very hard every day at practice. They're 2 amazing athletes, and I feel like they're the 2 girls that you might not see it coming, but they're coming.
Coming, all right. That's what we want to know about, okay? And Chris, for the guy side, who's that guy on the track team? Could be any spot. Could be a thrower or anything that you think is going to help y'all make that big championship run for state this year, because that's added points.
I would definitely have to say Cam Cleveland. Man, he stepped up these last couple of meets and where we need him to, and he'll be returning next year for him. So, yeah, he that person that's going to get the job done.
Well, Coach, it just, it's kind of hard with track, and I know most people don't get this about track. Individual sport, but those team points add up. They just keep adding and adding and adding. I mean, in the 400 men's, I know a couple weeks, I think it was last week, you had 3 of the top. It was 400. I got my notes right. Okay. So you had 3 of the top 4 in that 400. I mean, that doesn't happen all the time. But how are these athletes really taking that to heart? We're staying tight. We're going to finish 1, 2, 3 if we can, and make this thing to where we can excel as an entire team.
Well, what we tell them is race each other. We think that we're good enough, not being cocky or anything, but we think we're good enough as a result of our hard work. If we get out there and we race each other, we're fine. Maya Womack and Jada Edwards in the 400 going taking 2nd and 3rd because they're racing each other. Cam Cleveland and Christian Pierce going 1 and 2 in the 200 because they're racing each other. And then you have those 3 gentlemen in the 400 because they're racing each other. And so even in the 800, we had a couple of people that got out because they're racing each other. So we practice together every day. We work hard every day. take that over to the track, and then everything else will take care of itself. And so what we teach them is you go out there and just compete against each other just like you do at practice, and we'll be fine.
Well, is that 400 and past, right? Those long distance runs, is that not a little bit more like cross country? I've always found that fascinating. Do you know the moment you broke your opponent? Because there is a difference in going out there with a little bit longer of a race, right? You can kind of see that person when they know they can't break you, and they just kind of drift back a little bit. And I know you're probably doing that to a lot of people, to be honest. So what is that moment like? And do you just find another gear once you find that?
Yeah, in the 400 meters, it's about the 300 mark is where I can tell who am I breaking or who am I competing against. And one thing I have to tell myself is big arm drive, lift your knees, run and breathe. And normally my thing is from my 400, what I try to do, definitely when I hit my last 250 meters, I try to, whoever I'm with, instead of staying with them, that's where I try to drive and give it all I have. And in the 400 meters, it's easier to gauge who's more tired and who I think I can get or who I already know is out in front. It's harder to get, it's easier to gauge that due to it being 400 meters, which is a longer sprint. But what I do is I just try to run my race and focus on my race only and not try to run another race. And then I tire myself out. So I try to gauge the girls as I go. And then when I hit 250 meters, I just give it all I have.
Well, Chris, you're more of a speed guy and stuff. What's it like to come up to that finish line or, after a baton handoff? You guys are sprinting to the next route. I mean, you're basically running 400 meters every time I've seen y'all. Y'all are so tight in that group. It just seems like, as soon as the first baton's gone, next guy's to the next station. Everybody's there the whole time. What's it like to have that team camaraderie in a 4x100 that's doing, I can't see y'all not making state, to be honest with you. That's my personal opinion. But what is it like to have those guys that tight?
How we tend to look at it when warming up, starts off with our first leg, man. The first leg is like the quarterback of the team. Like they're no, I take that back. The first leg is like the O-line of the team. You can't do nothing without the O-line. I consider myself like the quarterback of the team. That second leg, that's the longest stretch right there. And then that third leg is considered to be like the running back. He's gonna make sure to block. And that fourth leg is the receiver. He's gonna catch it in the touchdown. So like it's just all that team. The team that goes together, like everybody must do their part for us to get. Warren needs to get out the blocks fast. Boom. He catches somebody, then I'll do my job. Daniel does his job, and Jude does his job to bring it all home.
Pretty awesome. Well, have you had any offers yet, or you've already committed or anything?
No, sir, I haven't committed yet, but I'm thinking to maybe go to Texas A&M Commerce.
What about you, Chris?
I'm committed to Eastern New Mexico for football.
Awesome, dude. Awesome. Well, Coach Johnson, we talk about this all the time as adults and what direction athletics can take you. Is it not amazing to see these two young people not only inspire the young folks in town, the underclassmen, but inspire adults because they're living their dreams through athletics?
Well, yeah, it's the toughest thing about it is getting the kids to see it, getting the athletes to see it. They're at that age, man. They're excited about a lot of things. Having to deal with that daily grind and track. The daily grind and track is unlike any other sport because it's hard every day. Even if you're just working handoffs, it is hard. And so getting them to buy in is really an amazing thing. I've had talented teams in the past where we did not have that buy-in, so you didn't get the results that you had the potential to really get. But this group overall, they're pretty bought in. We don't have athletes missing practice. We don't have athletes. We haven't had too many bad days at practice. You have one every once in a while. I can guarantee you we haven't had two in a row.
Okay.
And so, and the parents are very supportive. We have a wonderful parental support group here Red Oak Track, and they make sure that their kids are motivated and keeping them on track and helping us with the grades and all of that. So when you add all that up together, you can't help but to be successful. So that's what we have going here, and the coaches just do their best job. We have a wonderful coaching staff here, and we just drive every day. We just drive them to be better. We don't settle. So when you add all that up, you're gonna get success.
Coach, if you would, you just mentioned your coach staff. Let's give them a little bit of love tonight as well. Who all is on your coaching staff?
Oh man, we got our field events. You have Coach Richardson. He came in here with years and years of experience in shot and discus, and he's done a great job with them. He came in with a very young group, very inexperienced group, and I think that he's made great gains with them. And Coach Sutton, who coaches our long and triple jumpers, she's been with me for at least a decade, if not longer.
Yeah.
I trust her completely. I don't have to stand over her shoulder. I don't have to look at her workouts. I already know her coaching style, and she's going to give it everything she's got. Coach Edwards came on this year, and she coaches our high jumpers, and she's grown that group. We have way more high jumpers this year than we've had in the past, and she's even. I've seen her jump over that high jump bar a few times, so I guess she's still young enough to get that in. And then we'll move over to our throwing group. Big shout out to Coach Holmes. Coach Holmes is our head football coach. He doesn't have to come to track practice, but he has not missed one track practice this year. He runs our middle distance for our guys, our 400, 800 group, and it speaks for itself. You just talked about how we had 3 of the top 4 finishers in the 400. We had 3 of the top 6 finishers in the 800 this year on varsity. It was the same thing on JV, so our future is bright, and it's all a testament to him coming out, taking out of his time, and working that group every single day, and they are fully bought in. Coach Tron Roberson coaches middle distance for our girls, and I'm telling you, it was an adjustment for our girls, because he came out there with a steady hand. He didn't let up on them, and they're starting to see the benefits of his style of coaching. Coach Melvin Robinson is in charge of our sprinters and our 4x1 and 4x2 relays for our girls and our boys. He comes in here with decades of track experience, and you can see the results. Being ranked number 14 in the nation in 4x1, will rank up there in the low 20s in the 4x2, and our girls are sitting at the top of the region in both the 4x1 and the 4x2 as well, and that's a testament to his hard work. And then making sure I'm not missing anybody, Coach Colley with our hurdlers. And so Coach Colley came in. He hadn't coached hurdles before. I gave him a challenge. I needed somebody that I could trust to coach our hurdlers, because we have a lot of our lady hurdlers have so much experience and are very good. You have to have someone that knows what they're doing. So when I gave him that event to coach, he took it, he ran with it, and he grew that event. And so everybody that's hurdling this year, girls and boys, will be coming back. So that's a testament to him and his hard work, his dedication, and learning the event and growing the event for our team. And so we have great coaches here, and so that's a testament. Makes my job easy. You know, everybody looks at Coach Johnson, does a great job. You're on the good as your coaching staff, and so very proud to have them and to be working with them. And boy, I sure hope I didn't miss anybody, because I'm gonna have to hear about it in the morning.
Okay. Well, what has this program meant to you, and how have you grown through this program?
This program has meant a lot to me, and due to being my whole high school track career since I came to Red Oak. And when I came to Red Oak, I had a very good opportunity to start and grow and show my talent and run and be a leader. I've had so many ways to show my leadership over the last 3 years that I've been going to Red Oak. And Coach Johnson, he's really took his time with me. I love Coach Johnson for everything he does, even when I'm not on my best behavior or when I am on my best behavior. But it has really grown me. My sophomore year, I came in, quarantine happened. That year didn't get finished, but I came back my junior year. We worked hard, got me back on the right track. And then this year has been phenomenal. I've been working with Coach Tron. Coach Tron has been really putting a big push on us in our mid-distance group, with making sure we never giving up, making sure we're finishing through the line, making sure we're making those times, making sure we're walking after we get done and not bending over, falling on the ground. So it's been a big push, and this track team and program has meant a lot to me. And I'm glad that I was able to shine and show my leadership and do what I love the most.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Chris, what would you tell a young person out there that wants to excel at a sport? I mean, you're a football player, but you're out there in track, and that's going to build you up for football as well. Just talk about the grind and what it's going to take to reach that level of success that everybody wants.
The biggest thing that I would say coming in for a young guy coming in is buying in. That is the biggest thing that you can possibly do, is just to buy into the process, because obviously it's going to be hard. Coming from the new coaching staff that we have this year, I had the pleasure of playing with them in football season, so I already knew their coach staff. I would have been there in track season because they were my football coach. But as you get new coaches in, it's like, whoa, what are they doing? Like, you never had this style of coaching before, so it's new to you. But if you just put your head down and buy in, and as we can see now, the much progress that we have from this year versus last year is a drastic change. Like, if you just buy into what they're telling you, even I had to buy into Coach Robertson's style of coaching because it was new to me. So if you just buy in, you'll see the progress.
Thank y'all so much for joining us here for just a little bit. Congratulations on the season so far, and can't wait to hear how much more great things that y'all accomplished this year. Amazing team. And folks in Ellis County, we got a couple more track teams coming on, but I'm going to tell you right now, if y'all don't think track is big in Ellis County, y'all need to make some meets. We got coaches that ought to be going in the Texas High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame out of track. And I'm going to tell you what, these kids, these young student athletes, man, they're tearing it up in the classroom and on that track. Like we said, PR after PR after PR, state record, district records, national records. Ellis County, get ready, because it's time to burn up that track right now. Follow these kiddos, okay?
In Ellis County, we're always on the run. It's always good to know that someone's always there. Doesn't matter the time of day. With ATM Live, hours are always available. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can always pull right up and talk to someone live for that personal service. Or stop by and visit with the friendly folks inside. Pinnacle Bank, not just another bank in Texas, but Texas in a bank. Member FDIC.
Hey, Ellis County, guess what? We got Coach Joey Foster, the Midlothian Panther track team. We almost got all of them in here. We got the McLemores, we got Jones, we got Songer, we got Nixon, we got Fay, we got Farrell, and we got Benson, and the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, in my book, Coach Joey Foster. Coach, two-time varsity and junior varsity district championship. Talk about it a little bit.
Well, this is the first time in my 6 years that we actually swept the entire district. This is actually the varsity girls and JV girls. This is actually their third time winning it, minus not including COVID year, which we would have won that too. I tell them all the time. So the girls actually are 3 times or back to back district champs, JV girls and varsity girls. Varsity boys won it in 2019, and they were runner-ups last year to it. And the JV boys, I don't even think they were in the top 3 last year. So this was something that we as a staff and as a program have been talking about, trying to be a complete team. And the kids and the staff, man, they came together, and the kids ran out of their mind, and the staff coached their butts off.
Oh, and McLemore, Marcus, okay? What are we going to do here, man? Did I say the right name?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, I always get mixed up with y'all all the time. I'll edit that, fat boy. All right, Marcus, but how does it feel? And when I say 2-time, right, I'm talking about varsity and JV to know that y'all built a track program and inspired all these kids to come up behind, right? And want to be you and just keep feeding that track system. What does that mean to you right now that you're setting a bar for future Panthers to come?
It means a lot because you want to be able to inspire and help the next people behind you. Because if you don't help the people behind you, then you really didn't do anything with your time. And so I work hard because they're watching me, and then they're gonna follow in that and set the bar even higher.
Well, and Natalie, what about you? I mean, what does it mean to you personally, and how much of you are you growing from being a part of this group?
Oh, I'm growing a lot from what I've noticed. The coaches and especially my teammates have helped me so much to like push past my limit. Like I never thought I would be able to run the way I'm running right now. So I'm really thankful to be a part of this program.
Awesome. And Jade, I'm going to skip down to you real quick because you look like you're ready to giggle. All right. How great is it to have basically an ensemble of some people that will probably end up in the Texas High School Coaches Hall of Fame working with y'all? I mean, Coach Johnson is one of the best out there. Coach Foster, one of the best. You know, Donnie Connor, a legend. Okay. You just keep going down the list of coaches y'all have, and it's like top of the line, top of the line, top of the line.
It's great.
Well, is there anything that you're taking from this about, you know, like their hard work? Because I know they work just as hard as y'all do, and they will run you to death if you let them. What are you taking from having all this information come to you?
They've always taught me that no matter what I do in track, like to give it my best, and I'm gonna have to run or jump or whatever I'm good at all times. So just like the way that they coach is way harder than what I'm gonna go into, kind of, if we're gonna be totally honest. So like this hard work is gonna push me a long way. That's what they taught me.
Well, Nixon, when you talk about this team as a whole, right? Get to see y'all out at the Donnie Connor Invitational and stuff like that. How close is this group of individuals? I mean, track, it's your individual sport. You may have some relays together, but y'all come together as a whole. What makes that possible? Kai?
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. Coming together as a whole, I think we have good team chemistry and just the bonding is all. And then I try my hardest for the younger ones to look up to me and for me to push them, because whenever they're feeling down, they always need somebody to talk to. And so as a whole, I like how we all work together. And then if somebody isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing, I try my hardest to get them on the same page, and just so we can all just accomplish things together.
And Songer, you know, you and Maddie are over there in no man's land where nobody comes and watches you except for this fat guy sometimes. But what's it like to have that small inner group within the group? You know, I know y'all, as soon as y'all are done, y'all are over cheering everybody else on, but that's a little bitty group within itself. What's that group like?
I mean, it's great because it's not just kids from track, right? It's kids from basketball and football and things like that. So it's just a big melting pot, and it's just something really cool and special because I mean we're spending, you know, hours a day together, and especially with Coach Hibbert, just a great coach and just being a great leader, right? And it's just so cool being a part of that smaller group because definitely more intimate, right? Just because there are so few of us, and it's just so cool. I mean, it's like we're our own little small family inside of the track family.
And Faye, when you're talking about, you know, you just joined us this year, really, and what's that like coming into a group that's already so tight, but they're inviting and welcoming to you?
Well, at my old school, I was like the only freshman on varsity. So whenever I'd go to track meets, I never stayed behind. I never really had that community, that group of people that I went to go watch. So being at a school where everyone's so tightly knit and I can go like talk to anyone and it's just easy. It's so much better, much more welcoming than I felt at my old school.
Well, and I'm going to swing over to Diego real quick. Diego, How do you, you're a big leader on the football team. How do you come into your spring sport and doing track and stuff and try to help with that leadership? Or is that leadership already established enough to where you get to lay back a little bit? Are you pushing things, helping them out?
No, I think it shows more if I work hard. Like, I'm more of a just do what I have to do type of guy than just say, but I can like speak up. And I just feel like me going into track, and bringing some of the football guys out, it just shows like just leadership, just that.
That's pretty darn cool. Well, Coach, before we get back around all the way through this, okay, talk about, we've heard a couple kids talk about your coaches. And folks, if y'all don't get this out there, these coaches are running left, right, up, down, trying to keep up on events, trying to make sure that everybody gets a little bit of information. How hard is that to do during a full track meet when the whole team's there, much less at bigger events like y'all are going to this week?
Really, man, and I've been on here before with you. I try to run it like a football staff. Everybody has their role. Coach Johnson with the jumps, long and triple. Coach Vincent with the high jump. Coach Connor with the pole vault. Coach Hibbert with the throws. Coach Hayes with the hurdlers. So like, man, Coach Paramore when he comes and helps us out with the mid distance kids, and Coach Johnson kind of overlaps with the distance kids as well. So it's just everybody kind of know their role and kind of know where they fit in. I told the kids this at the beginning of the year, everybody got to know their role and dominate their role, and that starts with me first. It's crazy, it's hard. Like, I didn't get to watch Maddie and Gabe in the shot because it was like they were way out there. Now, I did go for the disc because both of them actually loved the disc. So I went and watched them do that. They like the shot, but they love the disc. So, I had stuff going on. But Coach Hibbert and Dr. Faye did a great job communicating with me on the shot day. And I told the kid, like, man, I'm sorry I couldn't make it out there because I was going crazy. We had an incident with Jay with the UIL official, and I almost blew every gasket I had in my body. I had to grab myself and hold me back, but it was just things happening. I have to be everywhere, and when there's some of those head coaching calls, I have to be there to make it, but the kids do a great job. This is something, like I said, this is not a team, it's a program, or even better, a family. Everybody kind of know their role. As far as these kids here, you have a freshman with Mallory. You have two sophomores with Natalie and Faye. You have juniors with Diego and Gabe, and then you have three seniors on this panel right now with Marcus, Kai, and Jade. So like everybody knows where they're supposed to go, and it's kind of like I don't really have to say a whole lot. They kind of know the how everything is supposed to go out. Believe it or not, our kids actually go out and watch the throws, and the throwers come back and watch the running. I mean, this is one thing we teach, man. Track is a individual sport, but we try to come at the angle of it's a family. You know what I'm saying? We support each other. So, I mean, just to say, great kids, great staff. They make me look like I'm the best high school track coach in America, but it's me. I'm very little to the whole cusp of it. It's everything that these kids do and the coaches do.
Well, Mallory, I'm going to ask you this, okay? You win district. Are you faster than your brother? Throw it out there. Come on, call him out.
I'm not faster than Marcus.
Oh, come on now. Oh, that's an easy way out. So, but Mallory, being a freshman here, do these people not inspire you to go out and do better things, to keep reaching for those PRs?
They all inspire me to go out there and have fun and push like the hardest I can.
Awesome. Well, Marcus, when you hit high school, you're pretty cool because elementary kids are like, hey, man, he can stay up past 10. Okay. But y'all are all doing something pretty darn amazing, which is you're inspiring younger groups of people to come up and participate in track. How does that make you feel as an individual, not only to be a leader within the program, but to also be a leader in the community and inspiring people to reach their goals and dreams?
It feels good. It makes you feel good inside. like you're doing something and like you're a part of something bigger than yourself, which is always like a motivating factor to like keep going, keep pushing when you have those hard days. But it feels good to have the city behind you and Midlothian.
Well, Maddie, if we could inspire Gabe to throw 50 instead of me having to holler 40 something, okay, on the shot, I'd be really happy. But Gabe, you know I'm gonna pick on you. Okay, I gave you a preview of this earlier today. But Maddie, from a woman's perspective, same question to you. What does it feel like to be out there and having younger people hear about your path, your journey, and telling them, look, nothing can hold you back. I'm a living example of that.
Well, my older sister, she was Morgan. Like, I thought I'd never throw as far as she did, and I would like just think, I'm just gonna do it. We'll see how it goes. And now that I'm doing it and I'm actually really good at it, I'm like, anyone can do this. It's not hard. Like, I used to be an iPad kid. It's not like anyone can come and do it. It's not as hard as people think. And it's just, you know.
Okay. Well, Kyle, what about you? Okay. What about you, and who inspired you to become who you are and just got you in the mode of, this is a great thing. And I know you enjoy this sport. So what about you?
Really, my coaches and my teammates. Like, last year with jumps, I wasn't even gonna jump, but then Coach Johnson wanted me. She kept asking me to come, so I came. And like, I think about it every day. I would not be this far if it wasn't for her. I mean, Coach Foster, he knows I do not like the 400, but he just pushes me and keeps putting me in it every time. And I've just been getting better. So my coaches have pushed me a lot and made me mentally and physically stronger, just getting me ready for the next level.
Well, Diego, is there anybody at Midlothian that Coach Johnson can't recruit? I mean, Coach Foster, excuse me. It sounds like Coach Foster and Coach Johnson are recruiting everybody. How do they inspire people to come out and do track?
They just make you believe in it and believe in the program and believe like if you're a part of it, you're gonna win. So, and I think everybody likes to win. So, I mean, it's that simple.
Okay. And Jade, what has it meant to you to be with this entire group? Okay. And when I say this, it's not necessarily how far have you come or anything like that, but to see greatness, because iron sharpens iron. When you see somebody else on the track that's doing so good, you know, how much does that inspire you to reach your personal best?
Seeing my teammates go out and like beat the people that we are rivals with just like fuels me wanting to go out and beat them too. And just like, so we can all be winners, I guess.
All right. That's a pretty good answer. And Songer, Panther through and through. Okay. What is it about Coach Foster that just seems to exude confidence through each one of y'all? What's that one thing that he's probably said to you that just took you over the top?
I mean, I've had a few conversations with Foster that have just, motivated me to go to that next level. I mean, even starting as a freshman, he would make sure and talk to me, try to motivate me to do what I can. But I mean, it's just an everyday, he's preaching, let's go be great. So it's not necessarily one thing. It's just a consistently, pounding in your head, like, let's go be great as a group, not just as an individual, but as a team. I mean, let's go be great. And that's just something about him that really stands out to me that makes him a coach, and not just any coach, a coach on that, next level.
Well, and Natalie, so what is it about everything with Midlothian? Because it seems like track normally kicks us off for the next season, starting for football and volleyball, because y'all do such a great job of setting an example at the end of the year. Okay. What is it about that iron sharpening iron that you think that this team is going to leave a legacy on? Because y'all have a chance to leave a massive legacy this year.
Honestly, I think it's just of how much he preaches to us. Like, sometimes it gets a lot, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, this man preaches. like every single day, which I appreciate it because it helps. But he's always on top of us about how we can be great. Like we have the ability to be great. And it puts, like confidence in us that, hey, like we do have the ability to be great because he's told, we believe it now. So I feel like he's giving us confidence to be able to go to the next level and leave, a stamp on Midlothian or the high school.
Okay, well, we're going to skip Coach Foster real quick. Marcus, we're going to start with you. What is your favorite Joey Fosterism? The one thing that he says to you all the time when you walk by.
Probably just "What's up, dog?"
Okay. Mallory, have you got one yet? Have you got a Fosterism yet?
What's that?
Huh? Like one of his speeches. Okay, I'm gonna hold back on mine. Okay.
I mean, every day at practice, not every day, but like one of them that was like really good was like before district, and we were talking about our rivals, and we're talking about how being Midlo good isn't good enough. And so, I mean, that one was a really good one to show you how far you got to push. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay, Diego, you got one? Jade, we're coming to you in a minute.
I don't have a speech, but like he always called me tender meat. That's an inside joke. But like,
okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Gabe?
I mean, just every time I see him, it's just, "What's up, big dog? How we doing today?" Just something get me fired up a little bit. Hype myself up, right?
Okay.
Love that.
Well, Jade, you got one from Coach Johnson? Any of you girls have one from Coach Johnson? I know she's got some out there. Or you got one from Coach Foster?
Me and my coaches, our relationship's different. So like the stuff they be saying to me is a little bit hardcore.
Okay. Then we'll skip that one. Kai, what about you?
Mine's the same for Jade.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll skip that one then. Okay, sounds a little rough on the ladies' side. So we'll skip those. But Coach Foster, just talk about the legacy that this team really can leave on this program. They're set up right now to leave a huge mark.
Well, one thing I am with my kids, I'm transparent, and they know everything pretty much is crazy. They know everything how I'm thinking before I even say it sometimes, especially the ones like the seniors, especially. They know they can pull it out before I even say anything. They're like, "Oh yeah, we gonna do this. And I'm gonna rewind this thing real quick, and I'm gonna go quick. When I first took the job, I told that team in 2016 that they are the foundation of Midlothian track and field program. The next following year in 2017, I told them, y'all are the frame. So when you building a house, you gotta lay a great concrete foundation. Then you have the frame going up. And that was in 2019. In 2020, when we started, I said, y'all are brick and mortar. You know what I'm saying? And that season got cut short. Fast forward to 2021, that team was the team that put all electricity in, the internet, the Wi-Fi, everything. That team left them with a chore to handle. And I think this team is the most complete team I've ever had since I've been at Midlothian. When I took this job and talked to my mentor, Greg Williams, it was one thing saying, "Hey man, you got all the pieces to the puzzle. You just got to figure those pieces of the puzzle out. And you can be able to beat teams. You don't have to win every relay. You don't have to win every sprint. You can just you have good sprinters. You have good sprinters, good relays, but make sure you're good in the quarter up. You can be dominant there. Make sure you have pole vaulters. Make sure you have hurdlers. Make sure you have throwers. And this year being blessed with Maddie Faye, Kai coming back to Midlothian and jumping. Gabe finally, like I told him, man, put a chip on your shoulder. Him actually taking that and running with it. Marcus finally broke through his shell, and then getting blessed with a kid like Mallory, that's a freshman that's broken the school record every time she just stepped on the track in a quarter. That was part of me going down to the junior high meets and recruiting and shaking hands and kissing babies. I'm doing it. I left them last week. I was mad at me, casting me a bad text message. I'm like, oh, so you up here trying to replace us already? But that's the part of it. They have to continue to lead a legacy, and then they always welcome back. As long as I don't lose my phone, my number will never change. So it's one thing.
And he ain't losing his phone, ladies and gentlemen.
I did, but I found it. But
okay.
But and just like in the distance, like Natalie and I mean we're young in the distance. This team is really young all the way around. And the few seniors that we have done an outstanding job of leading this team, because it's bigger than me. It's bigger than the coaching staff. You can holler, scream, rant, rave, all you want, but if the kids don't believe in it, then it ain't gonna happen. Those 4 district titles wasn't about me. That was about them. They ran out of their mind, and they know, because after I had my little shit and my little tier 2, and the first thing I got when I got them all back together, I said the area championship runs through Highland Park. And if you want to go win an area championship, now that will be some history beyond that can continue. And when you have success breeds success. It's infectious. They just keep going and keep going. And they understand it, they see it, and they know it's gonna be a war. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I told them going in, it's gonna be a war. And next week and Thursday, not next week, but Thursday, it's gonna be a war. And I think our kids this program is up to the challenge. I think they finally realize how good they can really be and how great they can really be. Great leaders, old and young. There's some leading by example, and some like Mama Kai. That's the mama bear of the team. She talks to everybody and listens to all 8 problems, and then I got to listen to her problems, which is that's what it's meant to be. But I can't speak highly of this group, this program, the 2022 track class. They outstanding group.
Well, Coach, with all the pieces you just got here on the screen right now, we know it's going to be a great meet Thursday. Folks, if you can make it out there, make it out there. A lot of folks don't make it out for track meets, but I'm going to tell you what, Midlothian's got some track going on. This county's got some track going on. And if you don't think it's there, go out and watch, because we're going to beat everybody above 30, I do believe, this year. That's my goal for y'all, is don't let one medal come down up north past 30. Highland Park don't get nothing. So best of luck to y'all this week. We'll check up with you. And y'all be good.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank y'all.
The battle to belong begins here, among the few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, guess what, Ellis County? We're going to get it right now. We're back on track. And tonight is track night. We've already talked to Retta. We've already talked to Midlothian. And now we're coming in with guess what? 6 times in a row, girls championship district champions. Okay, moving on. All right, all 4 teams placed in the top 2 at the district meet. Coach Linscomb, Kayla, glad to have y'all here from Live High School. And Coach, just talk about that district meet. It just seemed like everybody was on.
It really did. It's, we knew the girls were going to be really good going in. It's like I said, we don't get to that program to the level that it's at by not having good kids and by performing well. And we knew that if we performed like we could, then, we would be successful. And they were. It was great. We had a little bit of not a little bit. We had a lot of a challenge from Heritage this year. They put out a great team. And our district has gotten more competitive throughout the years, from Ferris and Alvarado. Alvarado looks really good in some spots. And, Ferris has some kids, and Godley's got some really good kids. And, Venus had some girls that really kind of surprised us too. So it's gotten, real competitive, which makes for a good meet. Heritage kind of run roughshod on the boys' side for a few years, and our boys stepped up. They had a really good day 2. We've been able to give them a little bit more in day one, you know, we may have taken that top spot there too. But I mean, I was stoked. You know, we got to within 9 points of Heritage there on
Yeah.
day 2 and you know, it was a good day. So we had a lot of kids advance. A lot of the younger kids did really well. You know, out of the 12 relays, JV varsity combined, we won 6 of them, placed in the top 3 and 11 out of the 12, I believe, if I remember right. So
yep.
It was a really cool 2 days. So
that's
really
awesome. Well, Kayla, I'm going to ask you this, okay? I was told God made the sky so high so you didn't bump your feet when you're going over that high jump. So what is it like being that person that's not necessarily, you know, that 4x100? Everybody wants to go watch that 100 meters, right? What's it like being in those field events where there's not a lot of people around normally when y'all take off on them, but y'all are doing so many amazing things over there, you know, but your teammates, there's not a lot of people watching them except your team. What's it like to have your team come over to that side event and just cheer you on?
Honestly, that makes it worth more than any random people just watching us, because it builds us together as a team, and more you get to see a side of teammates that, you know, you don't really see every single day in school, and just having them cheer for, you know, each other and recording just, you know, brings it all together and makes it way more fun.
Well, and Coach, you know, I went through all the stuff that was there. You know, your 4x4s were, and I'm fascinated about the mid-range run, right? Because it's almost like doing a cross-country deal. The higher you up you get. But when you look at teams that are doing great as a team, it seems to me like you have a couple good sprinters. You got some overall good people in the field events, but it's those long-distance runs that really add some points to your team total. What is it about that style of running that attracts some of these great young athletes?
Oh, goodness. I don't know that I'm the right person to ask about that, because my focus is a sprint. I tell our distance
in a sec.
Yeah, no, I tell our distance kids they're crazy for going out and running like that for fun.
Hey, you might well get a wheelbarrow for me because I ain't going that far.
No, I hear you. But, you know, Coach Dagan he's our cross country coach. He's also our distance coach, and he does a great job preparing those guys. You know, we had boys and girls both. I mean, we had a young man that is going to advance in all 3. You know, 800 mile, 3,200. His first 3,200 he's ran all year. He goes and he gets second place. So.
Wow.
Yeah, PR'd in the both. I think he's a second and a half or so off of our school record in the 800. And he's just a sophomore. So, and then Charzelle's been around for a while. You know, that's whether it be cross country or track, and she's just really just kind of blew up and blossomed this year. She's
A beast.
yeah, she's a beast. She said she's broken our school record in the mile and the 800 this year, and you know, the sky's the limit, I think, for both of them. And yeah, they definitely help, because when you can go and you can score in each event, you know, you're going to be successful. And as I'm writing our area qualifiers up on the board, we have somebody, you know, in every running event, from the 3,200 to the 4x4. You know, and on the girls' side, there's 17 track events. We've got somebody going to area in 15, you know, and so that means we had kids placing the top 4 at district, and those are invaluable points, you know, in the field events.
No.
You can be great in the relays, you know, but if that's all you got, you don't have anything to go with it, you know, sure, you'll be successful there, but as a team and their overall concept, it's going to be difficult. And so we're fortunate to have some of those distance kiddos that you know, really kind of they take that on, and that's their identity, and they, you know, they're vital to our success as a team.
Well, and Kayla, is it not hard sometimes, because you're doing your individual event and then you're jumping back into a team mentality. Is that not kind of hard sometimes to go back and forth? I mean, now you're doing 2 events, right? So, you know, and your events are kind of spaced out a little bit, but does that not make it a very unique experience competing with so many people? I mean, nobody's going to go watch the throwers. Let's get that straight. Okay. They start way too early, but does that not make it a unique experience and learning how to be diverse and talking to different groups of people in different ways and trying to connect with them on something?
Yes, it's unique, but I feel like what you do in between those events kind of also makes up for it, like proper training, proper resting, making sure, you know, you're taking care of yourself. It takes a lot to be a diverse athlete, and one of them is, you know, really taking care of yourself and connecting with other girls, you know, before an event or after an event just makes it, you know, fun because you learn something new that you never really experienced before. And you also have a chance to, you know, help them in an area that you could also be good at that they're kind of struggling at. And so, you know, it takes a very strong mindset to not be like, oh gosh, let me scratch this event. But, you know, carry on.
Okay. Well, Coach, this fascinates me because we have so many great student athletes. Kayla's just one example in the county. You know, very well spoken, probably tops in her class, doing great with the books and everything else. Are you not?
I am.
Okay. I thought you're laughing at me because I was wrong here. But what does it mean to you as a coach? I know winning's number one, right? Everybody wants to win. But when you've got young people that come out and that are considerate, that are great athletes, that are good at the books, and you know that they're going to go a long way in life, what does that mean to you?
Well, it makes a coach's job easier, number one. And before I finish answering that, I'm going to brag on Kayla for just a second because she's humble. She's not really talking about it, but she's actually done 5. She did 5 events at district, qualified for area in 3 of them, both hurdle events and a high jump. Made the finals. Made the finals in the triple jump. Actually placed in the top 6 in the triple jump, and then also long jumped. And you know, I went to her. We kind of went to her at the beginning of the year, and I kind of challenged her and said, "Hey, you know, we can sit here and just high jump because that's really kind of all she did. She hurdled a little bit early on. I said, let's try these other things. And I mean, she's like, okay, yeah, sure. Let's go. And, you know, willing to do whatever, you know, team needed to help out. And then we threw her kind of towards it back into the season. We said, let's try these hurdles. She had run the 300 a little bit and we came to a meet and she's like, hey, I'll make you a deal. If I don't do this, I'll run next week. She hadn't done it before. Well, she made a mistake because she went out and ran really well. So she was kind of stuck in it the rest of the year. So, yeah. And so now she's going to be running both hurdle events as well as high jumping on Thursday. But to go back to your question, if I don't have to worry about grades, it takes a lot of, you know, heartache and stress. I don't have to worry about if they're going to be eligible. You know, we tell them, or I tell them, I say it all the time that my greatest accomplishment is when we can kind of stand together at a scholarship signing ceremony because they've done the work. It's paid off both on the track and in the classroom, and they're signing athletic scholarships to go and continue competing. And even if it's not an athletic scholarship, an academic scholarship, they're getting, you know, their work is paying off, you know, and that's the best part of my job as a coach. And, you know, we go out, I take these guys all over the state, you know, we go to Oklahoma for indoor meets. We're around a lot of people, and, you know, it's cool whenever I'll get a note from the principal or athletic director, hey, such and such from wherever called and just wanted to commend our kids because of how well behaved they were and how they act. And, you know, that's nice. It takes a lot of pressure off of coaching staff.
Well, and Kayla, let's just talk about this real quick, okay? I got to see you last year jumping, And, they need to start that bar up a lot higher for you. I can tell you that. Okay. Because those first couple jumps, I was like, okay, she could fit me underneath the bar before she even touched it. But, and that's me standing up, folks, by the way. Okay. But no, you just had such good form and everything. But what does it mean to you being the kind of person that you are? I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but being an inspiration to other young women that I can do the books, I can be a great athlete, I can excel at multiple disciplines. And there's got to be young women out there looking at you saying, man, I want to be like Kayla. What does that mean to you to have so many people looking up to you?
Honestly, I feel grateful and I feel honored that some people, they are really inspired by me and inspired by what I do. And I just want to be able to keep giving and keep doing what I'm doing and help out more in any area of my life for them.
Well, who's that one person that inspired you to do all this?
So I would say it's my mom and my dad. So at first I started soccer, and when I went to the middle school, there was no soccer. So, you had to do a sport in athletics, and I decided track. And so after a while, Coach Bethel came and Coach Dagan and Coach Lenny came and said, this person can be really good. And that's what kind of started off my track career. I would say it was a little tipsy, my junior year, a lot of ups and downs with a knee injury. But now, actually listening to my coaches and actually seeing, it's not really the end, sky's the limit for you.
Well, Coach, that's been kind of a theme tonight. And what she's talking about, folks, is buy-in. Okay, 110% buy-in. How important, Coach, is that? And Kayla, I'm going to ask you to speak to this as well in a second. But if a freshman will come in and buy into a program, buy into going to the weight room, buy into going to stretching, buy into going and doing things on your own, how much further can that person get as far as not only athletics, but in their schoolwork? Because if you buy in to doing everything and being prepared as a student athlete, it's a major thing. And I know it helps y'all out a lot as coaches.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, if we didn't have the kids buying into what we were trying to do, we wouldn't be anywhere near as successful as we are. It would be a constant struggle to get them to practice, to get them to work hard. And if, if you're having to do that and you're having to constantly push, you're using a lot of energy in things that, where that could be better focus. So, being successful, having the success we had, certainly helps with that. Our first day when the kids come in, we all kind of get together, figure out what sports they're doing. And I'm sure I did it with Kayla's group. I've done it ever since. And I point up to the wall, and if you've been in our gym, you've seen all the banners we have up on the wall that talk about all the different successes that the sports have had. And I said, we take it serious. We work hard, we play hard, we have a good time, and we win. And that's what our goal is, and, at the end of the day, we're not going to do all this work to then not try to go win. And so if you want to be a part of that, let's get to work. This is what it's going to take. And we've been fortunate that we've had kids that have taken that on and just want to be the next group to continue on growing that program.
Well, Kelly, what would you tell somebody from a different aspect here? What would you tell somebody coming in as freshman year that this is the biggest thing that's going to take you far?
I would say together as a team, you are a family. There are some individual races, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to put in the work in school, outside of school. We can only take you so far. We can only push you so much. You have to do the work to become successful. And we're here to help you in any aspect and anywhere that you need. And, you know, I feel like that's what makes us even more stronger, because regardless, if you don't have it, someone else does on our team. And we're going to give it to you. We're going to give you pointers. And sometimes it will be the coaches and sometimes it'll be us. One thing's for sure, if one person falls, we all fall. We're all successful together.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, okay, so Kay, I'm going to give you a chance to give somebody else on the team a little bit of love here. Who's that one young lady on the women's team that nobody sees coming? I mean, you know, like you're a marked person, right? Everybody knows when you take in the field event, now everything else. Who's that one girl that just kind of sneaks up on everybody under the radar and just, you know, has a 2.5 mile kick?
I would say there is 2 people on my mind. One of them being my other high jumper, Jasmine. You know, she always surprises me, always makes me laugh, always makes the team laugh. It's always enjoyable when she's there. You know, she's always pushing herself, pushing others, getting to new heights, and congratulating each other. You know, I can't tell you how many times we've tackled each other on that high jump for us jumping a new height. And then Shaniqua, always a catch. We love seeing her eat, like on that track. She's always blowing out everyone, and each time she surprises us more and more. And at this point, it's like, wow, we know she's capable of more. So
Pretty awesome. Well, Coach, tell us about where and when for the upcoming meet. Give us the details.
Yeah, so area is this Thursday at Kincaid Stadium right there in Dallas. I always say Duncanville and I get my hand slapped by all the parents. No, it's not in Duncanville, it's in Dallas. So field event start at 9. The 3,200 is at 9:15, and then the 4x1s kick off at 5. So this should be a pretty fast meet. It's, you know, our area is quick with Dallas Carter and Lincoln and them, but we're also going to have that 5A district in there with us. So Lancaster, you know, and some of those schools that are in there. So it should be a good time, especially if you enjoy, you know, sitting back watching track. It's probably going to be a pretty good meet to go see.
come wish me a happy birthday.
Say it again. Say it again. I talked over you.
Come wish me a happy birthday.
Oh, it's going to be her birthday that day?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And she's let me know ever since she saw it on the schedule that it was that day.
Okay, no cake to your last event. Deal?
I got it.
Okay. But what kind of cake do you like?
I love lemon cake.
Lemon cake? You're right here. Okay?
Yeah, we gonna have to grab a slice.
Okay. Well, Coach, thanks for coming on. Kayla, pleasure to talk to you. Folks, like I've said before, every one of these interviews, everybody says, okay, basketball's getting big down in Ellis County. Football is king. Wrong. We got some of the best track teams in the state right here in this county. Doesn't matter what division. We got folks from Milford going and throwing. We've got Kayla's going to end up probably going to state and high jump. Okay. And who knows what else events. Okay. We've got 4x100 setting national records number 14. It's crazy. Make sure you get out and show these kids some love because they're working hard for you. They're working hard for themselves and they're working hard toward their future.